Let's talk about bonuses. Specifically, when you offer a course, a program, maybe a coaching program, what are some of the bonuses that you could throw in that would cause people to buy your program much more than they would if you didn't put them in? All right. In other words, we're going to talk about choosing your bonuses. So I was on a call today. Someone asked that and they were really struggling with it. And I realized that to me, choosing your bonuses is a fairly easy process as long as you've answered 5 questions. How about if I give you those 5 questions? Because the cool thing is these 5 questions, when you answer them, you know what bonuses you should offer. It's really pretty easy. All right. The hard part is then creating those bonuses and getting them out to them and those things. But the figuring out what bonuses you should offer is oftentimes quite easy. So here are those 5 questions. Number 1, I've just given them blank, whatever that is. I've just given them a program that helps them know how to do blank, or helps them create this, or helps them change this, or helps them achieve this transformation in their life. What else do they need? So that right there is really key. I've just given them this. What else do they need? Why don't I go through the 5 questions and then I'll give you some examples of this. All right. Number 2 question. What are their biggest questions and challenges that they're dealing with right now? The interesting thing is oftentimes these biggest questions and challenges are probably addressed in your course or program already. And so oftentimes what I end up doing is taking those things that are already in the course, pulling them out of the course, turning them into a bonus so that I can talk directly to that particular question. Okay, so what are their biggest challenges and opportunities? I just said I'll give you examples at the end. I'm going to keep my word. Okay, next. What are their biggest objections to buying? So I can't buy this because I haven't done this yet, or I don't have that, or I don't know how to do that. That's what you're solving in your bonus. Next, what would they buy your entire program for just to get that bonus? That's really cool. If you can come up with something that they think is so valuable that I've literally bought programs just so that I could get this. What tools could I give them? Could I license or create some tools? So let's go through this and give you some examples. Let's start from the end. What tools could I give them? So at one point, I taught a program about how to create screen capture videos. Ones where you see like a PowerPoint going on and you hear the voice talking and doing that. So what I did is I called Camtasia, one of the leaders in that business, and I said, hey, I'd like to license 1,000 copies of your program. How much would that cost me? And they gave me a price that was incredibly low, such that I was able to buy 1,000 licenses and give them away as a bonus in my program. It is astounding how often, especially when you're talking to somebody who's in the early days of their company, where, hey, if they just had $4,000 or $5,000, they can like pay a couple of people's payroll that month. You call them up and say, hey, I'd like to get 100 copies of your program, license 100 copies of your program. How much would you charge? And they say, well, our program normally sells for $49. And I say, I'll give you $10 a piece. Will you take it? Oftentimes they're willing to say yes, especially if it's something where you're going to buy a year's license for them and they know that a lot of those people are going to renew at the end of the year and they'll get full price on those. That's a huge thing in the software world. Okay. What would they buy just to get that bonus? So I'll give you an example of this. I bought a course because they offered a live event at the end of that course that I really, really wanted to attend, that I knew because I considered buying that live event a couple of years before, and I knew that that live event was $2,500. And I knew that if I bought it with the course, I could pay, in this case, $1,497 for the course and get that for free. I bought the course just to get that live conference ticket that I knew I was going to anyway and was going to cost me $2,500. What are their biggest objections? So, for example, let's say you teach a program on how to create courses that people are going to buy. All right. What are the biggest objections that people have to that? Well, number one, they say, I don't have a list of people that I can sell to. All right. Do a bonus on how to create and build a list. Number two, I know I'm going to have to advertise this program. All right. So there's one, how to advertise your course. And you can just go down the list. What are the things that people are saying? I can't buy this because I don't have that, or I don't know how to do that. Give those things as bonuses, as mini courses, mini programs that solve that problem for them. Okay. What are their biggest questions or challenges? So let's say, for example, you have something on homeschooling. All right. So when someone is considering whether or not to homeschool their child, or maybe they've made the decision to homeschool their child, and you're going to teach them how to do that, what are the biggest questions they've got? Well, to me, they got three big questions. Number one, what curriculum do I buy? Tell them what curriculum to buy. Tell them what you recommend and why. Number two, how do I do this legally so that my child doesn't get picked up for being a vagrant or whatever? All right. Tell them how to legally do that in their particular state. Number three, what technology am I going to need? All right. Tell them, hey, you don't need a fancy iBook. Excuse me, iBook. I can't believe I said that. Okay. You don't need a fancy computer. You can do a Chromebook instead for $297. What you've just done is you just handled three of their biggest questions where they're in the process of deciding what they pretty much decided they're going to homeschool. You just answered their three biggest questions about what to do. And what else do they need? So in any program, there's going to be holes. So you can step in and fill those holes with your bonuses. What I oftentimes do is when I sit down and outline my entire program, when I get done outlining, I go through them and I say, this one and this one and this one are not directly related to the course, but they're things that people who take this course need. All right. Those are getting pulled into bonuses. They go over on the side because I can market each one of those as a powerful reason for buying the course. And they need that information anyway. It's just not directly related to what it is that I'm going to teach them. Bonuses, very frankly, deciding what bonuses you're going to offer are some of the easiest things to do in your entire list of everything you've got to do to sell a course or a program. Just ask yourself those 5 questions, answer them, and the answers to those 5 questions give you the list of things that you should do for your bonuses. The only question after that is prioritization. Which ones am I really going to choose? Because in the end, you don't want to do 10 different bonuses. You want to do probably two to 10, depending on the price of your course. So choose the right ones. They can be incredibly powerful in selling, marketing, and selling your program. What's your experience? Have you ever bought something just to get a bonus? Tell me about that. What do you use to determine what bonuses you choose? Which ones are most valuable to you? Let me know in the conversation. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.